All right, what's good, everybody? Welcome to the stock market update today. Happy Monday, by the way. If you're just tuning in, you missed our video earlier. Well, that's too bad. We talked about how buying company stock, in your company stock that you work for, if they're a public company, how it may not be the best bet for you. You definitely want to diversify, but we went over some numbers there and quoted a pretty interesting study if you're interested in checking that out. My name is Dustin Tibbetts. I'm the financial advisor with Jazz Wealth Managers. We help you with your dough. We help you invest. We manage the investments for you. Check out our portfolios on our website, actually. We have all of our portfolios listed there for you, as well as the performance and how things did. Tomorrow, by the way, Tuesday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, live here on YouTube, we're going to do our normal Wine and Wealth series, but open for everybody. Normally Tuesday nights we do classes for our customers, teach them something that you just don't normally get to learn or people don't teach you. We're going to be specific tomorrow about what happens if you bought at the absolute peak of every market cycle, and that's how you invested for retirement. Would you still be okay? Would you make it? We're going to go over the numbers. You'll be pretty shocked to see the results on that one. But as far as the markets go today, that's what you're here to see. Let's talk about it because it was a pretty good day. Financials, industrials, and energy, they all led the way. The biggest part of the day was the financials taking over. The banks came back to play. So we'll put the charts up here. We've got the banks. That's not the banks. There's the banks on the charts. You see they've underperformed most of the year. If you're one of our customers, you have no idea what you're looking at. We did a class for you last Tuesday on what does all this on the charts mean. We went very, very in detail. So if you're one of our customers, be sure to check that out. The link is in your email. Okay, but anyways, today financials up 2.25%. They have been struggling, right? It's one of those things that I've been saying, if anything's going to start taking us down, it's going to be the banks not participating and B, tech stocks coming back off of their rally. Let me get out of the way here because the charts, man, we're going to fix all this. This is going to be great. Lots of updates coming soon here to this live thing. But basically, today was the banks. If you take a look, obviously, at the bigger banks, they did really well. Your regional banks, KRE is the ETF for the regional banks. They did well also, up 2% on the day. That was a big deal. So you can just kind of look around. You can see Goldman Sachs, that's been one of the huge underperformers in the financial space. Excuse me. And that one trying to recover, or at least grabbing some attention today by coming off of those lows. So pretty good recovery there, not too bad. JP Morgan, 3%. Also, look at over the past couple months. The market hasn't done a lot, but it hasn't been this poor. Look at these bank stocks just pulling back, pulling back. Well, finally today, that sort of bounce that came today out of these banks, that's enough to grab investors' attention and maybe move some money elsewhere, maybe out of the Russell and into some of these banking stocks. If you take a look at the Russell, that one has normally been the outperformer. Nasdaq has been the outperformer. Notice it did well today, but not quite as well as some of the other indices. So could there be a little money moving out of there and into healthcare, right? Did I point that out last week to you? The sector rotation into healthcare, that continues today as well. I'm not going to go too specific on that because I'm not supposed to make recommendations. That is not a recommendation, by the way. So we said financials, industrials, looking at the transports here, great day, 2% on the day there. And then, of course, energy. Those were your three major markets. And we're going to break away here for a moment and show, kind of break down how this goes because I want to show you sort of our lesson of the day. So we've got today the stock market higher because of the financials, right? Industrials and financials, industrials, and energy. Those are your leaders. Now, when we talk about the stock market, we're always talking about the facts behind it, how these things work, how everything kind of puts together. We know, I wrote it down, we know the financials are at 14.65% of your S&P 500, right? So they're the biggest bulk of them. We always talk about that, financials and tech. We've got the industrials at basically, let's call it 10%. And then we've got the energy stocks at 6.17% of the entire market, right? So add that up, 30%, I just call it 30% so I don't have to do the rest of it. About just over 30% here on these three sectors, sectors. So they all had great days today. We just went over them, doing very well. That's 30%. But what about tech? I always say you got to have the banking stocks and you got to have the tech stocks. It's nice when you have energy and stuff, but what happens when you have tech in the mix? That was almost 1%. Not too bad. Let's go look at a couple other areas here. Yeah, anywhere from 0.5% all the way up to 1%. So if we add in tech, let's go like this, get rid of that for you. We add in tech, remember that's a big chunk of the market, so you've got 25% here, all with tech. Now add that up and you've got 55% of the market that was strong all day. Now this is not new news to some of you that watch all the time. The new news is it was strong all day. So if you're a trader, you're a day trader, whatever you're doing out there, you had no fear of the market pulling back all day because 55% of it was rock solid, not budging at all. So I want to point that out because that's a big one when we talk about markets having rallies. Remember the other day we saw a rally and we thought, that's kind of odd, right? The market wasn't working together. Today, we could say the stock market was working together for the most part to push things higher. So a little bit of a breakaway there. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. Now, if we go back to the charts there you go. There's a quick look at tech just to show you how things go. And that'll be the end of that. Okay, so Twitter, some stocks in the news here today. Come on, Twitter, load. There we go. Twitter was higher by 5.5% today. They have cleaned up apparently 70 million fake accounts or accounts that haven't been used in a very, very long time. They did this in the last 2 months. The problem here is when it comes to social stocks, we focus on monthly active users, daily active users, and is that going to change the numbers? Because that's how they drive advertising revenue. And if it turns out that they get rid of 70 million accounts, well, what's the advertising revenue going to look like? How's that going to change? Although you may be advertising on Twitter as a business, there's a chance that your ad went to 70 million fake accounts or bot accounts as they call them. So the question is that going to mess with the advertising numbers? The stock was down at, I think, about 8% at one point, finished today about 5.3%. That's that one. You got Starbucks on the screen there. Small recovery today, up about 2%. Look, the stock was in the news for the straw thing, but basically the exciting news was the CEO, Howard Schultz, who's going to run for president, hands down, is going to run for president. He's leaving the company right now to do all that. He was in China, talked about the Chinese slowdown, the company's not having great sales in China. He said it's only temporary, and he even hinted or sort of teased at a deal with Alibaba, maybe working together. When you watch the media today, the financial media, they're talking about the straws. I mean, that's the dumbest thing. So Starbucks is getting rid of the straws for their drinks, and they're saying no more plastic straws because it's good for the environment. But they're replacing it with a plastic lid that looks like a sippy cup. So you got plastic straw, we're going to replace it with a plastic lid because it's better for the environment. I don't get what the argument is there. And so what they tried to do is they said, we're replacing the plastic straws with recyclable lids that are plastic. So I don't get it. I'm not even going to go there because that's a whole different story. That's my news on Starbucks. The stock, you could see, has been suffering quite a bit and is trying to recover. We'll see. I'm really interested in the news with China because that's a big chunk of what they're doing. I need to see some good news there. Okay, Avon. Are you an Avon lady? The stock was down 4% today. It's just not going well for them. They sold off their final factory in the U.S. here to a French company. French company said, sure, we'll keep making your Avon products, but oh, by the way, we're going to start making stuff for Walgreens and a couple others. That's not good. That's not good. That was an interesting company that just seems to be fading away. Michael Kors, this is your strength stock of the day. This one looks like it's going to break out. If you're a technical trader, you're looking at these series of highs right around the $70 mark. If you're an analyst over at HSBC, then you're also looking at that because an analyst came out today and said that the current price of $68.50 is way too low. He says 88. He thinks this thing's going to break out. This is not my opinion. This is an analyst, thinks it's going to break out from 70, go to 88. They upgraded the stock today. They said they just have so many good things going for them. And you can really see it, right? If you're a technical trader, I don't know whether I should include this in these daily videos or not, but if you're a technical trader, you like this. This looks really strong, sitting up here near the highs. When you compare it to I don't know, compare it to the S&P or the Nasdaq, whatever you want. When you start comparing the performance, you've got that looking right there, that little thing, and then you've got the market, right? So as things start getting stronger, here's a stock that never pulled back off of its highs, the Michael Kors. So I don't know, it's kind of interesting there if you're a short-term trader, you like that sort of thing. Again, not an individual recommendation. What else do we have here? Disney's The Ant-Man tops the box office, 76 million in sales. Not bad. By the way, their Toy Story Land is now open in Hollywood Studios. Not bad. Pretty cool little place. Boeing sold 4 patrol jets to New Zealand for 1.6 billion. Procter & Gamble is downgraded today. Yeah, that stock was your biggest loser, I believe, in the Dow. Down 2% on the day. It got downgraded by Jefferies. They said there's a number of challenges this company's facing. Not really that interesting, but what is interesting, a couple things here, a couple news events. I want to know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Groupon is looking for a buyer, right? If you use Groupon, Alibaba's probably going to be the one to buy them. They already own a chunk of them anyways. But who do you think is going to buy Groupon? Want to have a little bet on that one? I'm going to bet Alibaba. You can tell I'm sort of biased there. And then the final one is Kroger. You know Kroger, like the grocery store? Kroger hired, I forget his name. They hired somebody, great designer, because they're making their own apparel now. Like you're going to buy clothes from Kroger. What? I don't get that one. So hopefully more news comes out on that one. The stock was down 1.25% today. I don't know. Like we have a Kroger. I don't even go to the Kroger, but you know, been there. Don't recall seeing any clothes in there. That's a little interesting. Anyways, what else do we have? Just remember, tomorrow, 8 o'clock, we're going to actually have 3 videos technically going live. Our 1 o'clock normal class, the 5 o'clock stock market update you're seeing now. Then tomorrow at 8 o'clock at night, come grab a glass of wine. I'll have a glass of wine. We're going to hang out, talk about statistics, what we teach our customers so they don't have to be afraid of when the markets go higher, or they don't have to be greedy and do something crazy. They don't have to be fearful when the markets fall because we're always going on facts. I teach you about investing, personal finance, budgeting, credit. We've done all kinds of different classes for our customers. Well, tomorrow it is free for you guys to come on in. Anybody that wants to join us, 8 o'clock, we're talking about what happens, just hypothetically, but with real numbers, what would happen if you bought the stock market? I'll be there. Thank you. What happens if you bought the stock market at the absolute high of every single peak? What would you be? Would you still be able to retire? Would you make enough money? We're going to go over the numbers tomorrow, and we'll talk to you then. Enjoy, guys. See ya.